Thanks everyone for tuning in to my channel. This is Donna Makita Bradley with the Book of Makita 411. So, what are we going to talk about today? So much going on in the world. So let's chat.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while. I haven't done a video in so long. Just been living life and doing things that's necessary, like in the necessity of what I was thinking about as far as why I make a video today. It's going to be about the way we eat, because I got hungry. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes the food source today, if you're a more conscious person trying to eat healthy and you might have some health issues or for whatever reason you just want to eat cleaner, it's very difficult because one, economically you have to be able to afford the best, and two, unless you really have a farm of your own and you're digging up food and vegetables out of your garden and things like that, you will eat great. But when it's time to eat, like I was driving through traffic coming from work and got hungry and wanted to find somewhere to eat, and I needed to stop at a health food store because there was a tea that I wanted to start drinking, trying to do a little detox. I do that. It's necessary. I think, I'm just going to say that because I don't try to push anything on anybody, but it is necessary for me to detox. So I was looking for a health food store and couldn't find the one that I used to go to closed down. And I'm thinking, wow, what? Now what? They opened up a family Dollar Tree store or something where I can buy chips and cookies and all stuff that I don't want to eat, the processed foods. But when it comes to healthy eating, it's not like the health food store was somewhere to go get something to eat healthy, but it was, where I wanted to get some tea, but they didn't have it, the store. So anyway, it got me to thinking. I've been wanting to do this video for a while about, like what's the future as far as how we eat. And I found this article online, Forbes business, foods of the future, what will we be eating? Now this was from 2015, but it can still be relevant today. And it was written by Avi Gertzman, and this is in the Forbes in Israel. So I'll post a link. You can check out the whole article because I'm not going to read all of it. But it was interesting. He said 3 decades from now, we will still sit down to a table with family and friends, enjoying all the same sights and smells as we do now. Or should we expect something completely different? Will overpopulation and resource depletion force us to make drastic changes in our diet? I would think so. Just like now, I can find a health food store, but even with just the overpopulation, and how do we feed everybody? Because there's a lot of hungry people, but there's a lot of food being wasted. So it's not really so much as there's not enough food. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's how do we get food to people in a way that it can nourish everyone. I know that's so nirvana and so kumbaya, but really. Will veganism be the lifestyle of a dedicated minority or the obvious choice for an uncertain future? Obvious choice, right? Although there may be enough food to go around in the West, experts say the realities of agricultural and economics will convince more of us to become vegetarians or vegans. Right there, the realities of architectural and economics. I mean, it's getting expensive to like keep the mad cow disease down and process so many chickens with injecting with things that, eventually the odds could be that, so many people ingesting that were being ingested in chickens are going to get sick. There's going to be lawsuits. You know, it's an economic issue for sure. As the price of raising livestock goes up, see, the price, not what it costs, it's the price. We'll eat less beef and more fish, says Professor Sheenan Harpaz of the Volcanian Center in Bet Dagan, Israel. Harpaz, well, I'll just say the guy is Harpaz predicts our reliance on genetic engineering will continue to increase as we strive to feed a growing, hungry world. I just said that, crops will be made more resistant to pest and variety. Wait, listen to this. Crops will be made more resistant to pests and viruses, he said, but food will look the same as it does today. Hart predicts a focus on function over form. Now that's interesting. Function over form. Now in art, it's called form over function. That was a Louis Sullivan. He was an architect that came up with that. But anyway, functional foods like their natural counterparts, think fish, rich in omega 3s, will be designed to provide added value to health conscious consumers. This will be done not only through biotechnology, but through diet trends that contribute to better health. There will be a focus on foods that animals eat, since that is a reflection of what we ultimately eat. So in 2050, supermarket shelves will be stocked with functional foods instead of just a baby food section. We'll have products tailored to every segment of population. Foods optimized for women, men, and the elderly. Food science will formulate the base nutritional profile for each demographic group, as well as food science will formulate the best nutritional profile for each demographic group, as well as for each individual. Okay, I'm not going to read much more because you guys, I'll post a link. You can read the article, and I'll just talk about this one. You know, yeah, it is difficult. When I've often thought about this. I was a vegetarian when I was a teenager, for about 2, 3 years. No, 2 years. I don't think I went further than that. And it was interesting, because it wasn't so much about what I thought about, I'm eating flesh of an animal. It was more, I just listened to my body. And had I continued to eat the way I was traditionally raised, and that's where a lot of us struggle with our nutrition, is what we've been traditionally taught, what we learned, how we're used to eating. It may not be the best way for you to eat. You can go read a diet magazine and figure out the best diet and think that's going to make you slim and in shape. But the thing is, that might not work for you. I've always been, for myself, a person who really listens to my body. Like, if my body, and how I listen is based on what I crave. And I think, rest in peace, Dick Gregory often talked about that too, and also Dr. Sabi, about how your body can tell you what it is you need. If you're craving something, it's because your body needs whatever it is that you're craving. So a lot of times, like every once in a while, I'm like, well, I want some radish. Look it up. Look up the nutritional value of radish, and believe me, if you really start to understand yourself and your health and your body, you'll get to understand that that is what you should listen more to than the ads and the diets and what people say they do. Listen to your own body. Your body tells you, and sometimes people don't really want to listen. I understand that too. They'll eat ice cream and cake and, later in the night, they don't understand why they could actually be a 76 station, if you know what I'm saying. I'll let you think about that But or you're bloated, or you got a headache, or you're tired or whatever. It's because of what we're eating. And now when I think about it, like in the future, how will we eat? What do you guys think? I mean, I got to a point where I thought about writing a script about how you sit at a dinner table and what you're going to do is have a whole full spread as though it's some celebration, whatever, with a bunch of people at the table. And you're going to pull up those little tin, where they have the tin, or, well, I should say silver platters, and you open them up. And you look and you see that there's just pills, or there also has been research done. You can look it up about how the future of food may also be, eating bugs. And people are like, oh, I would never. I think what's going to be the most popular bug is a roach. It's going to be the biggest food source because it's like the pig. It's a scavenger. I mean, you guys go ugh about a roach, but you eat a pig, and a pig is basically a scavenger. I don't know what a roach is. Not so much a scavenger. Roach is something else, really. But it's going to be about bugs. Believe that. It's being researched. It's being looked at. It's being put in your food secretly now, and you may not even know it. You know. And that's not like I have no reason to fight against what's happening because it's just me as an individual. So again, I will say, listen to your own body. Your body's going to tell you what you need. If all of a sudden you eat something and it's hard because food is an art. I'm an artist. I understand it. It looks good. It's the smell of it. It's sensual. Food is a place where you can really have a great experience, especially if it's great. It tastes good. It's in a nice ambiance. You know. So I'm not one of those who's gonna, oh, you shouldn't eat that. You should eat this because I started understanding that I've seen people who eat what I could never eat and are more healthy. And when I say healthy, more energetic, more focused, have lived a long life because I've had friends much older than me, and they don't really think about, cutting back from pork and whatever and cheese and dairy and being a vegan. They just live their life and they've eaten the way they've eaten and they live a good life with it. I mean, then I've had friends who are very health conscious and eat only the best. And, they didn't continue to live on, you know? So live your life and figure out like what your body really wants because it's telling you. I remember even like hearing when someone says, oh, I'm so sick of this, or, your body's listening. I don't remember who wrote that. I read it somewhere. Wasn't something I made up, but your body is listening. Like when you say I'm sick of this and I'm tired of that, and then you wonder why you're sick and tired. It matches your body. Same with food. If you eat something, or you're feeling a certain way, think about the last thing you ate. Especially if you're going through something in a health issue. And I healed myself through something that every doctor I talked to wanted me to have surgery. And I just refused because I knew it was not about eliminating that. It was about getting to the root of why it even happened. Because a lot of things that happen are manifested through the way you eat, your diet, and what you think about. It does manifest, I believe, physically. So, you know, we just got through with the Thanksgiving. You guys are probably full of turkey, and you probably wonder why you're sleepy. Tryptophan, everybody knows tryptophan. It's in turkey. It's a chemical that makes you sleepy. And so if you can know that about turkey and how it's going to make you sleepy, think about anything else you put in your body: sugar, caffeine, And it gets to the point like, well, yeah, how are we going to eat in the future? Because if we get to the point where everything is consistently processed, it's not to feed us as individuals. As I said in the article, they have to come up with a grocery store where, if you're high blood pressure or if you diabetic or, will it get to that? Or is it going to get to a point where the food is going to just be something you pop a pill, or even think about intravenously feeding yourself? I mean, that's going to probably be big. And that's going to probably go way beyond veganism and everything. People are going to start hooking themselves up to some kind of IV to nourish themselves in a way where they don't have to deal with all the pesticides, the processing, or the allergic reactions to food, because people are allergic to things, peanuts, wheat, dairy, so yeah, eating, yeah, it's how are we going to eat in the future? That's going to be very interesting to see how it comes about. But anyway, thanks for coming back. If you're tuning back in, don't have a lot of views right now, but I'm enjoying doing these videos and I'm going to continue because I have a lot to say. So I know what I always say: make it a great day.